Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for joining me today, where today we're going to be looking at the narrative Gundam C-Packs Ver.Ka. Now, to those new to the hobby, you might not know what this Ver.Ka title stands for. Now, 1/100 kits have for a while had a subline of Ver.Ka kits, and what Ver.Ka stands for is these kits have been redesigned by the designer Hajime Katoki. Now what he has done is that he makes these models slash mecha look a little bit more real and adds his own kind of flair to these designs, making them a little bit more, as I said, realistic. So I personally have wanted to get my hands on more Ver.Ka kits, and at the moment my collection is steadily growing. Now this is my second Ver.Ka kit that I own, and from comparing it to other master grades, you're in for a nice treat when it comes to building a Ver.Ka kit, as they are very detailed, highly articulated, and also they're just downright awesome to look at. Now this kit contains a few runners compared to some other master grades, but that's not just the cool bit about this kit. The instructions themselves are awesome. When looking at the instructions, you're gonna get a front page where it's an interview with Katoki himself, and he goes over all the parts when it comes to his design philosophy, his reasoning, and gives you like a brief overview of the kit itself. And what I like is that before building, I can just sit down, read this interview, and sort of pick away at the ideas that Katoki had when coming up with the redesign for this model. Now this is the narrative, which is from the special Gundam narrative, or Gundam NT, and it's designed in a way where it's sort of a testbed mobile suit, and it was designed for the Operation Phoenix hunt, which is shown in the movie. No spoilers. Now, moving on to the actual kit itself, what can I say? This thing is so cool. And the build process was honestly something that I thoroughly enjoyed. And I got to basically try something new, really, because this kit has a really cool thing that I hadn't really done before at this scale, and that is the core block. Now, what a core block is, to those who don't know, is when a mobile suit itself, the core of it is actually a, put it simply, a small jet that folds in on itself, that basically allows it to become the core unit for the mobile suit itself. Now here we have the core unit for the narrative, and as you can see, the way that this thing can fold up into itself to make the core block is so cool. And the build is super genius. Now, with some kits, I have to preface that you gotta be careful with clear parts, because you don't want them to break or crack. So when cutting out clear parts, what I like to do is cut them a little bit away from the runner. Moving back to the kit itself. The details that Katoki has done to redesign this kit make it look spectacular, and I love everything about it. I have added the water slide decals to the kit to make it look just a tad bit more interesting. Now, the big selling point for this is the C-Packs armor. Now, the C-Packs armor is basically the psycho frame that's added on top of the narrative Gundam, and it looks so cool, and it's just so simple to place and so simple to put on, as shown in the instructions. Moving on to the articulation segment, you'd expect a kit with this high level of design to kind of be a little bit stiff, but no. when starting with the arms, you're going to get it about parallel off the ground, which is really, really good. And you're going to get this in the upper arm, you're going to get a little bit of a kind of flex motion in the arm. But when it comes to the actual bend, you're going to get way more than 90-degree bend with that double jointed elbow. And it's super, super sturdy. Sometimes a bit too sturdy. But I feel like the articulation itself is really, really good with the arms, as you can get a super good 360 out of a lot of the joints in the arm, including the lower forearm and the upper arm. Now when it comes to the wrists, you're going to have a little bit of a ball and socket joint with a peg as well, connected to the hands, that allow a nice flexion inwards. Moving on with the waist skirts and the side skirts move out. The back skirts are also articulated, and they move out to allow a nicer kick to the back. And sometimes they can get caught on themselves a little bit, but it's simple just moving them a little bit more. And when it comes to the kicks out to the front, because of that really nice front skirt, you could just get a pretty decent kick out to the front. Not almost 90 degrees, but close enough. But to the kicks to the back, it's there. You're going to get a really nice kick out to the back. And when it comes to the kicks out, it has a little bit of a dropping motion. And unfortunately, yes, the front skirts do pop off a little bit frequently, but it's a simple popping it back in. There is a dropping mechanism to the legs that allow a little bit more of a kick to the front and to the back. So, like I said, really articulated. Now, when it comes to that bend at the knee, you're having a double bend at the knee, which allows for a really, really nice deep bend. And the armor itself doesn't get in the way for the thrusters at the back. Now, pulling the leg off from the armor, so we can see the foot articulation, the ankles allow a really nice bend to the back and to the front, as you can see. And the side-to-side pivot is really, really quite good, as you can see. You're going to get a lot of really good articulation from this kit. What's also articulated are the hands. Now, the hands are two options. You get a closed fist and these manipulators as well. So this one's more for grabbing the beam sabers and the beam rifle. You're going to get a 1 finger and 3 finger articulation, because one is connected to a single finger and then the other one is 3 fingers connected together, and the thumb is also posable. Moving on with our accessories, what are we going to get? The kit comes with beam sabers, a beam rifle, hands, and these are articulated. We're going to get the landing gear for the core block and a beam shield that has the cycle frame also on top of it. We also get extra parts for the J-gun. So, what can I say about the narrative? Honestly, it is one of the best master grades I have ever had in my collection. And it's without saying that I had to give it some extra love. So I put some top coat, I panel lined it, I also added minuscule amounts of weathering, and it came out so nice. And what can I say? This has to be one of my top 10 master grades. And I would highly recommend this kit to anyone who's interested in either unicorn or master grades, or just generally wants a great build. Now, I want to thank you guys for coming and watching. I know that these videos take a bit of time to come out, and I appreciate your patience. And if you want any more Gundam content, feel free to subscribe and check out any future videos that might be on the way. Now, it would really be appreciated if you could like and engage with the video by leaving a comment and sharing with your friends. I'll catch you guys at the next video, and wherever we might see each other again. See you guys!